Hi, I'm Jamey from Stonemaier Games, and today I'm going to talk about my favorite mechanism in the game Eastshade. This is a digital game that I played recently. I've been checking games off my list of games that I bought on Steam and have never played. So I had really no idea what Eastshade was until I opened up the game and found out that I was a character on a ship, and that ship was about to crash. And we crashed onto an island, and the entire game is around exploring and just doing things on this island. Namely, really the goal of the game is to paint paintings on this island. Here's a screenshot from the Steam page of Eastshade. But I'm so glad that I played this game. And I've only played for about an hour so far, but this is one that I will absolutely return to because it is just my style of game. It is very easy to move around. This is not a dexterity challenge game. You are just kind of using your at least my keyboard. I'm using my keyboard to walk around in this world. And one of the first things I did was that I walked off the path. I wanted to see, okay, will the game let me move off this path? And what will I find there? And right away, I was immediately rewarded with things that I could find and collect. Because off the path, if you look close enough as you walk around, little icon, if you get close enough to certain objects, a little icon appears over those objects and you can pick them up. There's sticks that you can gather. There's feathers that you can gather. There's wood that you can gather. Just various things that you can collect and eventually craft into other materials. Most of them moving you towards the goal of painting different paintings. Sometimes paintings commissioned to you by characters in the game. Sometimes paintings that are just your goal of painting things. I'll explain painting in a second. But most importantly in this game, I love that the game let me walk off the path and discover things that I could collect. It made the feeling of just walking around really, really satisfying. And the feeling of exploration, it was a true sense of exploration as I was moving around and trying to collect these things. I haven't played many games that feature collectibles. I know that's a very common thing in exploration games, but in particular, I think it worked here because I had to use my eyes. There weren't map markers saying, hey, go over here to collect this thing. I had to get close enough to it to see that there was a thing, and I had to be constantly looking around to see where things were. And many times that was off the path. Sometimes it was on the path, though. Sometimes it was in this little village that I walked to at the beginning of the game. So I really, really enjoyed that aspect of the game. The other aspect of the game that I really enjoyed, this is not a combat game at all. You are interacting with different people. You're exploring. Sometimes those people will give you little things to do, but you don't have to do those things. You could completely ignore them. And some of those things involve painting. So that's what we see here. You see a painting here. And the game approaches painting in a really, really cool way where you yourself are not really you're not applying brush strokes to a canvas. Rather, you are crafting a canvas. And then when you have a canvas available, you can look anywhere in the world. So like this player chose this specific position of the world, and you crop your screen at that moment. You press a button to say, I'm ready to paint. You crop your screen however you want. And then the game paints a picture for you based on what you can see right there. It is so cool. And some of those paintings, like you can do it wherever you want. In fact, in the game that I played, I found something that I thought looked very aesthetically pleasing, and I painted a picture of it. But sometimes people will give you goals to do it. Like someone might say, paint a picture of the moon. And so that might be what this was. They painted a picture of the moon, or maybe they just this player wanted to paint this particular thing. So extrinsic and intrinsic motivations lead to this satisfying nature of painting. The world is much bigger than what I discovered in the hour or so that I played it. And really, I can't wait to get back to the game and play a little bit more and explore a little bit more, go a little bit further, go off the path, stay on the path, and see what I can discover, see what I can find along the way. So I really, really enjoyed this game. And I'm recording this 7 years into the design and development of my open world game, Vantage. And Vantage does some of the things that Eastshade does, but it reminds me of the vibe of Vantage, where the game Vantage is designed around saying yes to players. Do you want to go off the path? Will you find something interesting there? Yes, absolutely. Vantage says that, and Eastshade does that too, and I really, really like that. So yeah, and all this without a dexterity challenge, because I'm not a dexterity gamer for digital games. I just want to point and walk over to wherever I pointed. So I really appreciated that about Eastshade. So I'd love to hear your thoughts if you've played this game, or if this reminds you of another digital game that's low key, gives you a reason to go off the path, lets you find things, not combat oriented, and encourages you to use your eyes to find beauty and find interesting things in the world. I'd love to hear about more games like that. Thanks.